All right, sports fans, welcome to the first episode. We changed the name to the Tuloso-Midway Sports Podcast. This is episode number one. So we're starting back up again. It's volleyball and football season, and right here on the Tri-Sports Network, episode number one is going to go to our volleyball, our Tuloso-Midway Lady Cherokees. And on the screen, we have the head coach there for the Lady Cherokees, Shelby Chapa. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here to start this back up again.
Absolutely. It's volleyball season, and I know how much they love volleyball over at Tuloso-Midway. And right next to her is senior number 5, our star player. I say it's a star player because we had her on last year, Bella Garcia. Bella, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good. I'm glad to be back. The other was like so much fun.
It was. Thank you guys for coming out, Bella. I told Coach, I said, is there any way we can get Bella on for episode number one? She said, absolutely. So we definitely hope to have Bella back a couple of more times throughout the volleyball season. This year, it's going to be a little different. So last year we had Coach. We're trying to get Coach on every week. She's busy. So I asked her if every other week, if she's available, she could come on. And she said yes. So what we're hoping to do here on the Tuloso-Midway Sports Podcast is have volleyball one week. Hopefully, Coach Veriel will be available to come on the other week, and then we'll go jump back to volleyball, and then the next week football. We want to be able to cover both and make this podcast as good as we can make it. We don't live stream for them. Tuloso-Midway has their another the Warrior Nation that streams, but we definitely want to be able to come out here, put stats up here, bring players on when they can, and the coaches come on to talk about their program, doing some great things out there. So I'm glad that Coach Chapa said, yes, I'll come back and do it again because we had a lot of fun last year and we're going to have more fun this year. So, Coach, before we get started, I also want to tell you that the podcast is being pre-recorded, so it'll be uploaded later on this evening, and you can catch it on the Tri-Sports Network, our Facebook, our Twitter, our YouTube channel, our Instagram channel, TikTok, and Spotify. So many places that you can come and watch the entirety of this podcast. So if you say, look, I'm on Spotify, but I'm not on Facebook, then you can catch us on Spotify. If you don't have any of them, you could definitely catch us on YouTube. But definitely check out these podcasts, man. They're a lot of fun. We spend about 30 minutes or so, and you get to see the players come out and they talk about themselves, the season. The players and coaches also come out and talk about their players and what they're doing for this program to continue to get better. So hopefully you go check us out and like it and share it with others. We want to get as many eyes as we can on this podcast. Coach, let's start off with you. Last year we had you on there, made the playoffs, didn't go as far as we wanted to. Lost some good seniors. We had some seniors on. I remember Melanie, and now she's gone, but Bella's back. I've also paid a lot of attention to Haley McLaughlin, I believe. Her stats, she's good. I know last year she was a sophomore, so hopefully we can get her on. And there's some others as well that we hope we can bring on. But this year, talk to us a little bit about this team, the 2025 team. What excites you about this team?
I think the biggest thing is that we have a really great group of girls, and I think we have a good mix with like our senior leadership and our juniors, and then we have some just really young sophomores who are eager and hungry, and everybody's willing to work, and they've done a really good job of kind of stepping into roles, really, really big roles early on from the start.
Coach, I've seen it just in the second year that we're doing this. I see the younger players. I see how you set everything up. Obviously, every year you're going to lose some players. Bella, I think, has been 3 or 4 years there with you. Obviously, when she leaves this year, we're going to feel the effects of her not being there, right? Unless you guys can somehow keep her one more year. I don't know
right?
Back one more year. Bella might not like that, but the rest of us would, right? But eventually they've got to go, but you see growth, right, Coach? Like you see when you started her. I know she said last year that there's a league, I think the Storm or something, where you guys play. So Coach, you have this relationship with these girls from when they're very young, and then you see them grow. It's great the way you have everything set up. Tuloso-Midway is always in contention. They're always competing for a district title. This program does not go bad, or it hasn't at least the last couple of years. So everything you're doing out there to continue to stay competitive is really good. And you talk about your sophomores. as these seniors leave. When Bella leaves, you know, you got Haley McLaughlin, who's already stepping up, and there'll be other girls. So whatever you're doing out there is working great. Keep it up. And let's talk a little bit about the season. So you played a couple of games. You went to a tournament. I kind of look back of the tournament. You started off with Gregory Portland. It was a really good match. You got the win there. Talk a little bit about that game and what you saw from your team.
I think it was really awesome to see kind of really early on the fight that this group has. I think, like I said, there's a lot of really young kids who were on JV, who were on freshmen, stepping into some very big and demanding roles. So to see them kind of starting to work their way through it, and then it being like a home opener with the packed stands and like the environment was just, I mean, it was reminiscent of like a Cal Allen TM game. Like it was loud, there was a lot of fans. So I think they did a really good job of stepping into those roles. And I think our older girls, like Bella and Haley, they did a really good job. They're doing a really great job of kind of taking these girls under their wings and really like pushing them and working them through it. So I think really early on, it was really cool to see that kind of fight. Like there were points where in the sets we were down and they fought out of it and they worked to, get through it. So I think to see that early on is super awesome. And I think it's only going to be even better, as we continue forward.
I like to say, I believe, Coach, your record overall right now is 8-4. Is that correct?
Yes,
Four,
that
so
is
right. So if they're 8-4, let's talk a little bit about the tournament. So you go to a tournament, TexFest tournament.
Yes,
I saw some of the teams there, and I said, okay, so Coach is going to put the girls to the test. Right?
We did.
Tough teams. I said, so I'm going to keep every time before I went to bed, I was checking because you guys are one of the schools that on Max Prep that puts your stats in, which is great for someone like me. Man, I love it. Like, oh man, I can see exactly what's going on here. But you wanted to see what the girls were made of early on. I mean, you were playing some tough teams. I think you went 6-3 or something like that. Yeah. Talk to us about the teams that you guys were competing against and how well this team did, because they did really good.
I mean, going to this tournament was kind of it was a test for these girls. I wanted to see, like you said early on, kind of what they were made of. I wanted to put them in an environment where they were a little bit uncomfortable. And I told them, I said, there's not a single team here at this tournament that isn't competitive. I mean, Wimberley hosts the tournament and they won state last year. So just the prestige of that alone and being a part of a tournament with so many teams that go to the regional finals, the regional semifinals, the state semifinals, state tournament. It's huge to see that kind of competition early on and to set the bar and see, okay, where are we? Where do we stack against these teams who have really prestigious programs and to play amongst the top, and not only in the public school teams, but there were some top private school teams who go and they compete and they do very well in the private school settings. So I think the competition was really great. And the girls, again, they just showed a lot of grit. Like they fought through really tough matches. The 3 matches that we lost, they were very competitive. And so I think, it's what we wanted, and the biggest thing that we talked about all weekend and, as we've started the season is, it's kind of finding our confidence, finding some communication, and really just trying to compete and just competing through matches. And I think the girls really did that. I think they out dominated teams by just their will to compete and fight through hard situations.
They did. And let's talk about the game now. Before I get your thoughts on this Beeville game, I'm saying these are 2 this year of better teams in volleyball in this area, right? Beeville, Tuloso-Midway. I thought, wow, I wish I could go to this game. This is going to be a good one. I hope the Lady Cherokees win. We did not get the W, but if you look at the stats, I went at the game. It could have gone either way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Very close. Talk to us about what you saw from the girls in this game and what did the girls learn from this tough loss?
I think the same thing. They're really just learning how to, I think there's a lot of really high pressure situations that some of our kids we have 2 new setters, we have a new libero. So we have a lot of really key pieces that are new, that don't have the experience that, Bella or Haley or Kelly or Iris or some of these girls um, who have played a whole season and played a lot. So I think it again, just we're trying to learn who we are in tough situations. And I was very intentional um, for that. I knew we were going to be young. And I knew if our end all goal is to win district, we couldn't have an easy preseason. Like we had to put ourselves in an environment where we were uncomfortable from the start. And I think that the Beeville match did that. I think if we would have played a 5-set, 3 out of 5, I think the match again could have gone either way. We played 2 out of 3 because it was a dual match, and it was close. There were moments where we were down and we fought back, and I think the environment again was loud. Their fans were yelling, our fans were yelling, and so it was again just a great environment to be at early on. To kind of, we want environments that feel like a TM Calallen match. So that way, when we get into that TM Calallen match, we're chilling. We're like, we've been here, we've done this, we know what to expect. Because I think more than anything, I think these girls, they want that title this year. And I think they're willing to do whatever it takes to get there.
I want the title for you guys. I want you guys to
Mhm.
win the title. I like when you guys lose, I feel bad. I'm like, oh my God, they lost, man, and then I get real excited. So I bought into the Lady Cherokee hype last year, and as soon as this came, season was coming around, I was like, man, I'm gonna go back and ask Coach Chapa to come back and really stay tuned in. I knew Bella was gonna come back. I knew it was her
Mhm.
senior year, so I definitely wanted to get her back on the podcast and give her an opportunity to talk because I think talent like yours, Bella, comes once in a great while. I mean, you were doing
Mhm.
these things when you were younger. I mean, people knew
Mhm.
when you were a freshman and a sophomore. Now you're a
Mhm.
senior. Last year, I know you're
I
going to give
know.
it your all. And so, I mean, I know Tuloso-Midway is excited to have you. They're going to lose you as far as not coming back next year, right? Because you got to graduate, unfortunately. But you've left a legacy here for the younger
Mhm.
girls to be able to follow. And I hope we'll have another Bella somewhere down the road. It'd be nice. I don't know if we'll ever get one like you, but it'll be definitely nice if we do. I do want to say, Coach, that when we talk about the younger players and how they jump up to varsity and they're so ready, right? You talk about some of these younger girls that have to play
Mhm.
bigger roles. The leadership, like Bella and these
Mhm.
girls, Melanie last year, uh,
Mhm.
they do a great job. But these girls, when their numbers called, whether they're sophomores or whatever, to come up and play and they're ready to play, that's a lot of credit also to your assistant coaches,
Mhm.
wherever you
Oh yeah,
have
for sure.
them, they're working your program. Talk to us a little bit about who's on staff. I don't know if it's the same from last year. Or do you got
Mhm.
new ones?
Yeah, so our staff stayed predominantly the same. We did add another TM grad, so now we have 3 out of our 4 coaches went to high school here, graduated here, so that's pretty cool. We have Coach Kalunga, who's my assistant, and then we have Bella, who is the JV gold coach, and then we have Coach Esquivel, who came to us from Ben Keddy, and she was a softball kid here. Um, Went off and played college softball. And she's back doing our JV Maroon team. So she graduated from TM. So it's cool to get to experience that with, we have 3 people on our staff who obviously love TM, enough to come back and to pour our hearts and souls into the program. So they do a really great job of being an extension of me and kind of what I'm trying to do here for our program.
Well, Coach, you're doing a great job. I mean, this is the second year we're doing this, and obviously you're from team. I mean, it's nice. Coaches want to win wherever they go, but if you are
Mm-hmm.
come back to where you graduated, you're an alum and play,
Mm-hmm.
that's just so much more special, right?
Yeah.
Because you put a lot of time, tears, sweat into
Mm-hmm.
to that school. So it's definitely special when you can hire coaches and they want to come back and coach
Mm-hmm.
the place where they went to school. I think that's awesome. Um, let's talk a little bit about the rest of the non-district in one word, Coach. If you can put it to one word, I'm putting you on the spot here. What do you want to see from the girls, the rest of the non-district before district starts?
Um, Grit. That's it. That's all I want. I just want to see. And for us in our program, grit means more than just your average, everyday vocabulary word. Grit for us stands for growth, resilience, intensity, and team. So if they can encompass that in everything they do, when they step in the gym, when they step into game day, this preseason, I think they're gonna do things that really shock and surprise people this season.
And that's awesome. I think they are. Bella, I'll go to you. My first question to you would be just the way the season has started. I think you guys 8-4 are really good. That's a good start, and the losses have been very competitive. You guys, it could have gone either way. What's your thought so far in the game that you played? Give us your thoughts on what you're seeing from this team so far.
To be honest, I'm seeing honestly something I've really never felt in like all of my years that I've played, they've all been like somewhat kind of different. But like being at the top of like the pyramid, such as like I'm graduating next year, I get a whole new fresh of like teammates. And something I see like that's different is that like then like compared to all my other teams is that we have like a lot of loyalty towards each other. And that's something that I've never really got to experience before, but we have a lot of loyalty towards each other. And even when we work, like we know that we're not just working for ourselves, but we're working for one another. So I think just the grit and the integrity and the loyalty we have towards one another is unlike all the other years before.
And let's go to your stats because I wasn't surprised when I saw the stats. Like I was looking, I didn't know what they were going to be, but when you started posting, I said, okay, I know they're going to be high because they were high last year. And
Mhm.
I'm just going to go to the two, not the tournament, but the two games that I have here. GP, you had
Mhm.
15 kills, 18 digs. You're all over the place, right? Like you're all over the place. Against Beeville, 14 kills, 30 digs. I mean, just talk about your performance. I mean, you were doing this when you were young, right? Like I think this year you've experienced it all. You've
Mhm.
experienced the loud noise in the gym against Cal
Mhm.
Allen. I mean, I don't think there's anything this year that you haven't experienced now, which is all help you to grow. When you look at these stats, and I think they're going to continue to get better. What do you think when you look at that? I don't know if you look at that, but when somebody tells you, "Hey, look at your stats. Hey, look how you're doing good," like what do you think when people come up and tell you, "Hey, man, like you're awesome, like you're doing good"? Like what comes to your mind?
To be honest, I think I'm a little bit more humble than I should be.
Yeah.
I actually don't look at my stats like that at all. I kind of just play volleyball, and I think that's how I've always kind of been. I don't really look at the stats or kind of be like, oh, I know that I'm like at this certain amount of digs. I've in my head, it's always been like I play volleyball because I like volleyball. It's never been because like it's never been like a chore. Like I've always had to get this certain amount of digs or this certain amount of kills. It's always been like I'm here because I love it and I have fun, and my stats prove that at the end of the day. So when you come up to me like, hey, you're doing a real good job, kid. I'm like, thank you, because I know that I put in the work, but I also know that like my stats reflect how much I love the sport, and it has nothing to do with like the accolades or like somebody coming up to compliment me. It's just truly a reflection of the God-given talent that I've been given, and I'm able to show that and how much I love it.
You have definitely been given the talent and you're taking advantage of it. And I didn't go to school Tuloso-Midway, but from South Texas, it's just
Mhm.
great as a sports fan because I like all sports. I like volleyball, I like football, baseball. I've always followed it. Now I finally got the courage to do a podcast and we do live streaming. But to be able to see whether I'm from a school or not, from all of the surrounding areas, I love to see I met some pitchers in softball who I get to talk to them. For a sports fan, it's amazing when you see young talent still in high school
Mhm.
and they're above what they should be, right? Like you're above volleyball. Like you talk about all the work that you put in. That's why I like the podcast because people will go out and see you, for example, and they'll go next game. We want to go see the Lady Cherokees and Bella, right? Like we want to see what she's going to do and how many digs. I mean, sports fans say that. I say that, but they don't know all the work that you have to put in every day, the off season, and how hard you work to get there. And I think that's awesome, and that's why I like it when Coach brings you on because you get an opportunity. We get an opportunity to introduce you to the community if they don't know you, those that don't know you, and also to the surrounding areas. I think they froze for just a bit. I was hoping they'd come back, but Let me see. Give it a second here. See if I can get them back. Coach, if you can hear me, I don't know if you can. You froze. If you want to go ahead and log out and log back in, we should be okay. There you go. So I think Coach Chapa will log in. That happens sometimes from time to time, but hopefully Coach will be back on, and then we'll continue with these questions. But as I was saying about Bella, just last year talking to her and just looking at her stats and paying attention to this team has been good. I mean, Coach Chapa does a great job. Cal Allen has been, I mean, Tuloso-Midway, excuse me, has been known to uh, uh, compete, and they're very good at volleyball. And every there you go, and every
There we are.
Oh, there
Sorry.
we are.
Technical difficulties here.
just a bit. And so Bella, as we were talking, I was just saying, your performance. I know, like you said, you put the work in, and I was just saying that, people go to see you, but the work that you put in, that's just you and your coach or your friends or your family, right? To get to this point, to where you're at now, that's got to be like 24/7, 365. I mean, this is what you do, right? Like, it's to get to this point and feel this confidence. That's work put in since you were a kid in elementary, just wanting to be the best you can be. And you have that talent and you're taking advantage of it. And for me as a fan, it's just good to be able to see it, and then be able to bring you on my podcast and talk to you and introduce you not only to the community of Tuloso-Midway, for those that don't know you, but also so they can come out and see the team and see you and see coach, but also to introduce you to the surrounding areas, because we have a talent here. You represent Tuloso-Midway, but you also represent the Coastal Bend, South Texas. So we're proud, and any opportunity we can get to get you some exposure, we're definitely going to do that. We're not the biggest podcast yet, but we definitely are doing our part to push our athletes here in the area. So I'm going to go over to Coach now. Coach, she's a senior. I'm sure in the time she's been there, she has done some great stuff. I'm sure as a senior, she's got some other things she wants to be able to accomplish before she graduates. But what can you tell us? What milestones, if any, has she already surpassed there at Tuloso-Midway?
I think this girl has set the bar really high. And as you know, I've known her since she was itty bitty. So to get to see her grow into this incredible volleyball player, has and get to be a part of it is just a huge accomplishment for me, and myself, because athletes like this don't come very often. You can't teach some of the things that she does just on her own. So I think the biggest thing is she was back-to-back MVP of our district. You know, her freshman year, she set records as a freshman player. And I think she's right on track this season to have the most career kills for any volleyball player that's been a part of our program, which is huge because that's, Bethany Clapp has the most career kills. So to compete against somebody like that, she was part of our program when we went to state in 2016 and 2017. So the girls that were a part of that program set some pretty big accolades, and she has some pretty big shoes to fill. But she's done it effortlessly, and without hesitation. She doesn't think twice about some of the things she does, and she's just grown her game so much, coming from a freshman to now being a senior. So it's been fun to get to watch and get to be a part of, and kind of get a front row seat at that. Kind of still in denial she's a senior, so.
I know. I'm sure as a coach, that's the last thing you want to do is lose someone, right? Obviously, they go
Yeah.
on to other things, but obviously you've had the opportunity to be able to coach, like you said, one of the best athletes volleyball in our area, and we're just lucky to be able to have her here representing the Coastal Bend. Coach, I want to ask you to talk about her leadership too. I mean, I know she's been a leader probably since she was young, but as a senior, I'm sure she's a captain. What can you tell us as far as we know her play? Speaks for itself, but as a leader, for those of us that aren't in the locker room and aren't in practice, what is she like as a leader?
I think she's done a really good job of from the start. I think, being a little 14-year-old freshman stepping in, when you play at the level that she does, your game speaks and people listen to you. So I think she's done a great job. But really now as a senior, I think she's been in those shoes, like how it feels to be the newcomer. So she has a great way of helping the girls through it in a manner that's positive and encouraging. And she's not afraid to take a second to, turn to her young setters and say, hey, it's okay. Just set me the ball and we're going to get through this. And I think by her being so composed and having the confidence in them, it gives those kids confidence, to have somebody who plays at the level that she does on the receiving end of the something that you do. It can be intimidating. And I think, instead of making the people around her fearful and not want to make errors, I think when the moments when they do, and not just her, but our other players, they're doing a really great job of helping those kids work through it in those moments. So I think it's been fun to see her leadership just grow. And I think she said, like, like being a senior now and getting to be at the top of that totem pole. I think it's fun. And then to get to have, teammates like Haley who challenge you daily and kind of, I think they do a good job of putting her in her place at times and reminding her that, hey, we're here to compete too. And I think sometimes she needs that a bit. They get a bit silly and it's fun. So they keep me on my toes. They keep each other on their toes. But I think that's a good level of competition between all of them. And then they do a really great job of helping those younger kids through it in the moments that it's difficult.
That's good that the
Mm-hmm.
competition is good out there, that as good as you are, you've got people underneath underclassmen that want to reach that. So that keeps you going. And to be honest, it keeps Tuloso-Midway competitive, right? We just keep working hard. We continue to get better. So when we lose a Bella, we don't miss a beat, right? We've got somebody else waiting to stand in line. So that's awesome to see. Bella, for you, so you've heard Coach talk about what you've already reached. Is there anything that outside that we haven't talked about that you say, I want to be able to accomplish this in volleyball that we haven't spoken about, that I'd like to reach this or do this before I graduate?
Honestly, I think the biggest one was definitely the career kills one. We don't, I haven't talked much about that one because I'm like kind of like a little sneaky achiever. So like this is actually kind of like the first time I think we've talked about it like out loud or to anyone. But that's definitely one that I want to accomplish. And I don't only want to accomplish it, I definitely do want to like surpass that. I am hoping to get it like 2000 before I graduate, or at least like by the time I graduate. But the career kills and like all to like TM, that's definitely my biggest one, and that's been my biggest one since like freshman year. I'm like, no, I want that. Like that's mine. I want it. So that's definitely been like my main goal, a silent goal nonetheless until today, actually.
I outed you and I didn't even know it.
But I've been watching your stuff and I'm like, man, I gotta ask her because it's people, players, good players don't. You do this consistently. It's not like one game and then you do it 5 games later. This is consistently against whoever the competition is, right? It doesn't really matter because your game is at a level where you play like this all the time, right? Like it. So that's what's amazing to me. People that follow Tuloso-Midway, the volleyball program, the players, the stats, they see this consistently. Whether there's a win or loss, the numbers stay the same, and that's what we want to be able to bring out. And that's why I asked. I didn't know that it was something you want to talk about. But I'm going to ask her because it's amazing.
No, it's okay. It's okay to talk about it. Like it's good. Sometimes, honestly, I probably should talk about like my goals and my aspirations a little bit louder. Only just because like I am such like as an athlete, I do think that again, like I am a little bit more humble than I need to be. Honestly, I probably should have more of an ego. At least that's what my coaches say. I've had coaches be like, no, you need to be like more ego. Like you need to like, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, they definitely like want to have a little more sass in my game, and definitely should talk about like, my, some of my goals, my aspirations a lot more. But again, I've always just been kind of like, I've always had fun playing volleyball, and because of that, like none of those like little tiny things, like the achievements ever really mattered because I knew that like I was having fun. And I think that's what makes my game grow so much, because when you like love what you're doing, you want to be good at it. And when you don't like the environment or you don't like what you're doing, it's like you have no want to be better at it. And yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, and look, you can talk if you want, because you can talk because your stats back it up. Some people talk and they can't back it up, right? Bella can talk it and you can back it up. So if you can back it up, hey, go out there and talk it. If that's what you want to do. No, because I mean your stats are just unbelievable, man. It's consistent. And I always go back when I see your get the stat sheet, and I'm like, wow, this is a lot of work that she's put in. You can't get to this point if you haven't put in the work, because it's just not going to happen. Even if you're athletic, you've got to be, your mindset has to be right. There's a lot of things that have to be right for you to be able to compete at this level. And that's awesome. And the last question I have for you, speaking of competition and competing, so you graduated from Tuloso-Midway. My question is Bella going to be playing volleyball after high school?
Mm-hmm. Wait, what was the question
Are
exactly?
you going to play volleyball after high school?
Oh, yes. I forgot when you asked me that. Yes, I am. I am going to play volleyball after high school. Where that is to be told later, sooner or later. But definitely it's been a fun process. Going to camps, meeting new girls, talking to coaches. Like it's all been, just last year, freaking out because as a junior, you can finally start talking to coaches. And the whole process was just so new, but it was such a fun process nonetheless. And yes, I'll definitely be playing college volleyball, and I'm super excited about that.
Yes, and whatever school gets you, they're going to be very, very lucky because they're going to get a good leader, a person who's going to work hard, very athletic, and so hopefully, we'll do this next year with Coach Chapa, and she can continue to let us know how you're doing it, because I know Coach Chapa is in contact
Oh
with
yeah.
you.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
maybe we get Coach next year, and then we can get you. I know college is a lot different. Maybe in the off season,
Right?
Coach
We
can
can
get
get a
on.
little
I know.
before she's off, before she
But when
leaves.
you're off and coach is off, when volleyball season is over, maybe we can get Coach Chapa and you on it, and you can let us know on the, because you're an alumni, so we can always bring you back here to the Tuloso-Midway Sports Podcast, and maybe we can go on after the season after you graduate next year, and you can let us know how you're doing out there and at the community of Tuloso-Midway. So that's something definitely that I'll be looking forward to. But again, this is great. I've got to ask you the question before I let you go, and that's district. I know for me, I hope that the Lady Cherokees win district, because I know that is something that is always on y'all's mind. And as a senior, I know you like to bring that back before you go, you and the girls and Coach Chava. But what are your in a deep playoff run? But just let us know what you think the chances are. I've been watching your competition. I always think you guys, I thought that last year too, but you guys are off to a great start. Of course, it's early in the season. There's going to be some changes. Teams are going to get better. Some teams are going to unfortunately have some injuries. Hopefully, not going to that didn't happen to us. But your thoughts on bringing that district championship home? What is the percentage that Tuloso-Midway can bring back home?
Honestly, I feel like it's very high. And I say that in the sense of like our team, not that they don't like experience, but it's just we have something about us compared to all the other years is that we're so young in a sense that we have such a new outlook on everything. And I can say that nobody on our team, like I can say everybody on our team actually wants something. They want something from this season, and whether that's a win or to go very far in playoffs, we do it for each other. And we know you can feel the want in the gym every time we go up to practice. Everybody wants to be there. And because of that, that pushes us so far in like games and practices. Even when we start off with like a competitive game in the beginning of practice, like we're already yelling and it's 6 a.m. in the morning. Like it gets crazy. And if you ever get a chance to talk to Haley, which I hope like she ends up coming in here talking, you could feel that energy off of her. She's a competitor and she makes me compete. And honestly, all of us, we all compete every morning, every time we step on the court. And I think with that being said, when a game like Cal Allen shows around, or anybody that we will play against district, you'll feel the want on the court. And I think that makes our percentages so high because I don't think anybody wants it as much as we do this year. And because of that, like our chances are so much higher than I think the years before.
Awesome. And I usually say around this time on the podcast, I say, so please come on out and support the lady Cherokee at the gym, but that happens already. I don't have to
Already,
say it
yes.
because
Yes.
it's something that's done. I watched the GP game through the World Nation, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, look at all the people that are there, man. It's
It
like,
was
you know.
insane. Yeah, it was really
That
cool.
Beeville was
So yeah, I caught the game. I watched
Yeah.
it not live, but I watched it after I got back from what I was doing. And I saw a lot of the people there, and I was like, wow, man, like it's so I'm gonna say it anyway, but they already do it. But definitely come on out, support these ladies. They got a great coach, great players, great program. But I know the Tuloso-Midway community already does it. You guys are very lucky to have that support from the community, man. It's great. I've been out there to Tuloso-Midway High School. It's a beautiful high school, some great coaches. Been able to meet some baseball, basketball coaches. It's a great place to go to school out there. And I know y'all building some more stuff. I don't know where y'all are at, but last time I was out there, man, there was a lot of construction going on. So
There is.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah,
going on.
still going on.
Very much
Yeah.
still going on.
I'm
Feel the
hoping
rough.
I'm hoping at some point I can get the superintendent of Maytree back. We had him on last year, so I'm hoping we
Oh
can get him
yeah,
back.
that'd be so
He'll-
fun.
You'll
Yeah,
love it.
he
He
was
loves the
great.
camera.
I had a Coach Viriel and I and him. Well, I mean, he was great. I mean, I love him coming on, and I'm hopefully we can get him on this year here, the next couple of podcasts, and he can give us an update on what's going on there. But the other thing I want to say, Bella, is all this stuff that we see that people see on the podcast and they see your work ethic and your leadership, all that started at home. Don't know mom and dad. But what a job that your parents have done with you, because that's where it starts. And then, of course, coaches get to see you. All the coaches, they all have an impact on you. But it had to start at home. And what I saw last year, and I think I told you, your interview, I was like, wow, man, like, she can really interview. All of that stuff that we see starts at home. So mom and dad, whoever you are, they got to be so proud of you. They've done a great job in instilling in you what type of person they wanted you to be, and you followed. So I always, before we go, want to say kudos to mom and dad. Did a great job with Bella, man, and thank you for sharing her with the community
Yes.
of
Yeah.
Tuloso, but also us, the surrounding areas, man, because a talent like this doesn't come often, and we're just lucky that we're able to see and talk to her. Coach, before I give Bella the final word, I'd like to give it to you first. Anything else you want to add before we let you go? I'm glad you're going to be coming on. Coach Chapa's going to be coming on every other week. So it's not next week, every other week. If she's available, she'll come on. But I want to give you the final word. Anything you want to add?
No, I'm just really excited for this season. This group of girls has been insanely fun from the start. And I think, like Bella said, that they want it, and they'll do anything to get and achieve whatever the goal is. And I think the sky is the limit for them. And like she said, it's a fun young group who want it for each other, and I think they want it for our seniors. So I'm excited to see how the season pans out. And I think we have all the great contributing factors. So we have great family support. We have great administration support. We have great support from, all the contributing factors. Our athletic director, Coach V. There's a bunch of working parts that keep our program thriving and growing, and the ability to, just let me do my job and coach these kids and push them and see them continue to grow. So I couldn't be more thankful. And I couldn't be more excited to just, continue to see how the season pans out.
Absolutely. And while coach comes on, we'll also, like last year, talk about the other levels of volleyball, because that's where it starts. You see them on varsity, but those coaches at the other levels do a really good job of getting these girls ready. So when their numbers called, because the other thing is you never know, right? Like you're a sophomore freshman, you never know when your number is going to be called, right? So they're always
Happened
ready
last year.
to come up. So they do a great job, and definitely through this podcast, we want to shine on our seniors. Get them the exposure, because they won't be here next year, and talk about the varsity, but also the future, which is the other levels, right? We want to also mention them and talk about them and what they're doing, because they're the future. We want to stay competitive out there at Tuloso-Midway. So, Coach, thank you again for coming out, and Coach Chapa, not next week, but the week after, if she's available, will come out again. Just kind of stay tuned to the Tri-Sports Network, our Facebook page, and we'll let you know the date, time. Well, the time doesn't matter because we're pre-recording, but the date that Coach will be on. And then, of course, we'll upload it. Bella, I'll give you the final word. Hopefully, Coach Chapa will have you on a couple of more times before you go. I know we got to get the other girls, but hopefully, Coach will be able to squeeze you in. We definitely love to talk to you as the rest of the non-district goes, and especially when we get in the district and the playoffs. So we're looking forward to having you back a couple more times. But anything you want to add before we let you go?
Honestly, I'm just really excited. I'm really excited to see how the season goes and how the rest of it goes, really, because I really think that like what we've done so far only just showed an ounce of what we're capable of. And I think that we surprise not only ourselves, but a lot of other people because we are such a young team. And when you hear like, oh, we lost, 4 seniors who played, it's kind of like, whoa, what's going to happen? And I think that we did a really, really good job pushing back against all those odds and being able to perform at the level we are right now. And to only grow closer and to keep putting that work in the gym, I'm really excited because, like I said, when you like what you're doing, you get better at it. And I can tell everybody in this gym wants it and they like it. And I can only imagine how much better it's going to get throughout the season. So honestly, all I got to say is I'm really excited. And I can't wait to win district.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. Good luck. And like I said, on this side, I'll definitely be watching when the Warrior Nation is on. I definitely will be watching, even if I'm, at another game or something. I always got an iPad checking things out. But when I get an opportunity, I go through every stat. I write it in on the Tri Sports Network and let people know. Hopefully that's not a problem because when I did it, I said, oh man, I didn't tell Coach Chapa if I could do this. So I hope she doesn't mind. But Coach, if I ever put something on,
no, you're good. Yeah.
Just send me a text. Hey, can you take that off? I just get a little excited. But obviously on I think Tuesday, you guys are Rockport's traveling up there. I don't know when they're traveling up there.
Yes.
We do their live streaming here on the Pirates Sports Network. So I'll be traveling over there. So I'll be guys. Yeah. Coach, how can I buy the ticket there? Do I have to buy it online? Do you know?
Oh, you just tell me you're here. You're good. We got you. We got you.
So I'll definitely be out there to watch you guys. And if I have another,
you gotta be wearing I don't know, Tuloso-Midway. Who are you gonna be watching?
Are you gonna be ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a shirt made that has RF.
Neutral.
I'll definitely figure it out. But two things, and then the other one that we do is Ingleside. So we do the 3 schools. But yeah, definitely. I think this volleyball last year, I really got into. But I've always liked volleyball, right? Just being able to watch it, and it's hard for me because it's during football season.
Yeah.
So we focus so much on football. Even last year here, they're like, hey, man, you got to swing it over to the volleyball side. You can't just be over there. So I had to tell my crew, hey, like I know everybody wants to be in football.
Yeah.
We got to go there.
We got to go. Yeah.
It's great. But over where you guys are at, volleyball is big, man.
It is.
Some schools, you do see it, but over in Tuloso-Midway, man, even on like game 1, I mean, it's like football season. It's huge. It's one of the things that surprised me last year. I'm like, man, this volleyball, but it's like big time over there. There's a lot of support and there's a lot of following for this program, which is awesome to see, right? Because a lot of schools, they don't get that. And you guys are very lucky to have that following for football, but also for volleyball. So it's awesome. And it's when I go down there, Bella, it's the first time I'm going to see you guys play ever. So I'm glad I get that opportunity.
Wow. I'm really excited.
And during the district, when I can get away and get out there, I definitely want to get out there. Just if I'm not streaming, just to get out there to be able to watch it and then be able to talk about what.
We need to.
Coach, yes, absolutely. Coach, thanks for coming on. Bella, thanks for coming on. We're looking forward to having you come on a couple of more times. Bella will be on. I don't know when, but Coach will make it happen for us. But Coach Chapa, not next week, but the week after. So tune in to the Tri Sports Network on Facebook, and I'll let you know when I set up a date and time for the next one. And like I said, please, when we upload this, you can watch it on the Tri Sports Network on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Spotify. And all you just got to search the Tri Sports Network, and you can catch all of our podcasts there for football and volleyball. And then I'll be making some clips as well. So thank you very much, Bella, Coach, and I'll see you next week. Good luck in the next couple of games.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.